Always do that.
Oh, no, somebody told me I had to. All right, good evening. This January 22nd meeting of the Board of Trustees for the Burleson Independent School District is now called to order at 5:30 p.m. This meeting was duly posted according to legal requirements and a quorum is present. Thank you all for being here. Do we have any open forum?
I do not see
cards? All right, then we can go past the open forum reading and the board will now adjourn into closed session for the purpose of consideration of matters for which closed sessions are authorized by Title V, Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, Sections .071 through .084, whereupon the superintendent, at the request of the president of the Board of Trustees, will present for the board's consideration or discussion the following matters. A, consider teacher and/or administrator employment or other appropriate personnel matters. B, deliberate a negotiated contract for a prospective gift or donation. C, deliberate the use of security personnel devices and/or audits, including the intruder detection audit. D, deliberate a matter regarding a student or student discipline. E, deliberation regarding real property. And F, consultation with our attorney. And so we will adjourn into closed session at 5:31 p.m. Hello, the Board of Trustees of the Burleson Independent School District will reconvene to open session at 6:36 p.m. We have one item to take care of as a result of closed session. I would like a motion that the Board of Trustees grant the board president the authority to approve new hires between now and the next regular meeting in February. The board will consider ratifying those hires at the next meeting. So can I please have a motion? Jerry, in a second. Pat, all in favor? Please raise your hand. All right, any opposed? I see none opposed, the motion passes. And now, if y'all would stand with me to say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
All right, now I recommend that the Board of Trustees adopt the order of items for the January 22nd, 2024 agenda as presented. Ryan, in a second, please. Michael, all in favor? All right, any opposed? I see none opposed. The motion passes. And now it is time for a special recognition with Dr. Hipp.
Good evening, everyone. I want to start by saying happy Board Appreciation Month. Tonight, as our principals are coming up, they're going to get in order and we are going to present to you a gallery of photos of student life. Principals are getting up and see how I just cute that.
And what is the max? Do I need to time each one of them, or?
Yes.
Okay, especially shimming, right?
Yes.
Got to time shimming.
Because they have so many things. They do. They do know their place.
No, Andre's kind of a salesman, though. I might need to time him too.
Yes, probably so, for each one of them. So these photos tonight represent the life that goes on in Burleson ISD, and we want to say thank you for the work that you do to make this a possibility for our kids. So I'm going to start by turning it over to Mr. Ederbach.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Dr. Jimerson. On behalf of the parents, students, and faculty at the Academy Nola Dunn, we want to tell you guys, thank you guys so much for all you do to support us, each of us here at Burleson ISD. The last few weeks I've been giving school tours to families, prospective families that are interested in coming to my campus. And the common theme amongst all of them is a feeling of thankfulness that we are a district that offers choice to our families. It's been a great opportunity for me not only to talk about our school, but also about the other great schools in Burleson, what each one of them uniquely offer. So in the competitive market of public education. I am so thankful and proud to work for a school district that does things like differently and offers choice to our families. This picture represents my school in such a great way. These two students are collaboratively working together, and we try to pride ourselves each and every day of a culture of collaboration, excellence, and kindness. And I feel like this picture that we are giving you today represents that. Thank you again to the board and to Dr. Jimerson for all you do for our school district. Thank you.
Is there a timer?
Lil Wayne, take it as long as you need, brother.
Okay, I got it. It's only a 3-page essay. No. Hey, first of all, on a personal note, thank you for taking a chance 10 years ago and approving Dr. J's recommendation to hire a former coach and a small town country boy principal. You've allowed me to be a leader of people and make an impact on so many students. Thank you for always providing our staff and students with all the needed resources, the best tools, and world-class facilities. Thank you for allowing us to create so many student experiences through our many programs. These programs allow all of our students to grow and develop lifelong skills. Your decisions provide an avenue for students to follow their passion. I wish I could talk about all of them, but I only got 30 seconds. But just in the last few weeks, our new construction program students learn skills about building mini houses, and that's a new program. Theater students entertain large crowds. Athletic teams lay it on the line every Tuesday and Friday as they battle in district play. Whoops. Uh-oh. I try to be like Dr. Jimerson here.
You can keep trying, man.
Creative filmmakers earned recognition at the film festival. Our cheer squad made school history by reaching the UIL state finals. And just this morning, I watched several of our students, our dedicated and hardworking students, show their animals at the Forward Stock Show. This is what we're about, and this is just a small sample size of the impact of all your leadership. Thank you for not only allowing us to hire the best staff, but thank you for always putting them first and taking care of them. Finally, and most importantly, thank you for always making decisions centered around what's best for students and kids. Thank you. Go Elks. I went over.
Good evening. I'm here on behalf of the Mound Mustangs, and first of all, I want to say thank you for School Board of Trustees for entrusting me to continue to lead Mound this year and for the years to come. I want to express my sincere thanks to each member of the board for your unwavering support and commitment to excellence in education. As a school of choice, your support allows us to provide leadership opportunities for our students. With our Leader in Me program, we're able to empower our students to lead on campus, like we've got going on in our picture, and make sure every student feels welcomed and at home. Your collective efforts have helped us create an environment where students can thrive, learn, and aspire to their full potential.
Good evening, Dr. Jimerson and the Board of Directors. As a first-year principal at Fraser, I first want to thank you for trusting me to take over the reins of these precious Fraser Bears. I want to thank you for two specific things specifically. One, the culture that you're creating here in Burleson ISD. It's a culture where teachers want to be and students want to be, and that's because of the support that I'm given every single day in this district. The second thing is that you keep students first. Every day, every month, we don't come every day, thank God, but every month we come here and on some level we celebrate students, right? And these are students with faces, and these are students that matter to us. And that's what we're doing every day at Fraser. Our goal this year is every discussion is centered around knowing that we're discussing at the student level, we're drilling down to the student level, and every student has a face. So thank you again.
Good evening. Candace Cook, principal at Hughes Middle School. So I'm going to go in a little bit of a different direction. I love to find out the history of Hughes Middle School, so please go with me on this because it's actually quite sweet. So Burleson Junior High School was established in 1970 and later renamed Pauline G. Hughes Middle School. Mrs. Hughes, most of her life, she committed to being a homemaker, mother, and wife for 23 years. Later in life, she decided to go into education. The same year, she was named a teacher here in this district. Her husband was also named a superintendent here. Sadly, her career of teaching was cut short due to an illness, and she had to resign mid-year. In her resignation letter, she writes, I have had the sons and daughters of some of the board members and shall always cherish the memory of their presence in my classes. That school board and this school board continue to represent the many qualities of Mrs. Hughes. I'm trying not to be emotional because I'm not a crier. The many qualities of Mrs. Hughes include integrity, an appreciation for the beautiful, and a commitment to building qualities in our students for a worthwhile life. There are many community members that describe her as a firm hand while maintaining a soft-spokenness and love, which she always saw in her eyes. Another great leader of HMS is Mrs. Susan Shehay. If you didn't know this, Mrs. Shehay is the longest running principal at Hughes Middle School. She was an AP for 4 years, and she served as our principal for 17 years in the district. I have to imagine if I go back and look at history, she might be the longest running principal in the district. So I would like to extend this. Our thoughts and prayers for her and her family are welcome and appreciated during this time. It is an honor to serve under their legacy and you all's legacy as well.
Candace says she's not a crier, but a little bit.
He's just like, Tito, it's my tissue.
All right, so on behalf of the staff and families of Norwood Environmental Science Academy, I would like to extend our gratitude to each member of the Board of Trustees for your support and always leading with our students, teachers, staff, and community members' interests at heart. Our focus on environmental science at Norwood has provided students with opportunities they might not have gotten otherwise. Last semester, our students have been able to grow vegetables in our raised garden beds. They've learned how a greenhouse operates and have been able to have firsthand experience with operating a greenhouse. They've been featured on CBS 11's Weather on Wheels. And they've also explored careers in horticulture from Texas A&M's Forester Service members who come out and provide lessons for our students. So we look forward to continuing our students' growth at Norwood, and we thank you for always serving our students' best interest.
So I brought my speech today because I don't want a repeat of last year. So Dr. Jimerson, board president and members of the board, first and foremost, I want to thank you for everything that you've done for the district and for Taylor. A saying that I often bring up is it takes a village. These past few years, we have been very fortunate to have the opportunity to build relationships with our community, businesses, but most importantly, our parents. We have restarted our PTO, which has been great. And as you can see in the picture, our dads are a great support as well. In addition, we have partnered with Academy 4, which provides every single fourth grader with a mentor. These mentors are from around the community. And I'm not sure if there's any correlation yet, but their scores have greatly improved from last year. Finally, we received a grant from Region 18 that provides some of our teacher leaders with professional development, which in turn they provide to all of our teachers every Monday with best practices for teaching. I think Taylor's on the right path, and we couldn't do it without your support. Thank you.
I want to thank the school board and Dr. Jimerson for everything y'all do for our kids day in and day out. It's extremely evident what the kids get from y'all in your approach to giving them whatever they need. One of the things this district did a long time ago was it created Crossroads High School, which is an alternative campus for kids that are at risk of not graduating. The structure of the campus is very individualized because every kid comes in with different credits, different life circumstances that make it difficult to do a one-size-fits-all for them. The teachers and the staff at Crossroads have done a phenomenal job helping these kids get back on track and graduate and find success. In the last year, we broke the record for mid-year graduations and for end-of-year total graduations. This year, we're having a graduation on Thursday, right, Esther? All right. We're actually broke another record for mid-year graduation and probably on track to graduate over 120 kids. And that's
120.
Not in January.
Okay.
52.
Man, I told my wife we'd be doing a certain time. I better change that up.
We do have a pool going on as far as how long it takes. The over and under is 29 minutes. So I think we'll make
All right. So that
52,
means
52 on
does that
Thursday.
mean my 2 minutes goes down to 30 seconds? Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what you did last year.
Yeah,
you were 37 seconds
You're right.
last year.
True that.
You were good at it. But being highly individualized, the kids very rarely get a chance to do group activities. What you see in this picture is the one group activity everybody thrives on. And it's when Miss Mahaffey gets to make cookies for the kids. Everybody seems to volunteer for this class. What you will see is this young man, Eric, he got to pick the flavor. Chocolate chip, of course, is the favorite. It's the favorite day on the campus, one, because the kids get to eat their handiwork, and miraculously, Miss Mahaffey always makes enough cookies for the entire student body, which ain't the worst thing in the world. But thank y'all very much, because it's these kind of smiles that you see at graduation and on these days right here, and that's from y'all's commitment to the students. Thank y'all.
We'll see you Thursday.
Amen.
Good evening. On behalf of the Stribling Stars, I want to thank each of you for your dedication to the students at STEAM Academy at Stribling Elementary. We know that all of our kindergartners come on that very first day as 5-year-olds with a natural tendency towards curiosity and creativity. They want to know why, they want to know how, and they want to do it themselves. It's our goal at Stribling Elementary that they leave 5th grade still just as curious and creative as the first day they came to us. This picture here captures what it can look like to learn by creating and having fun doing it. Thank you for supporting STEAM Academy at Stribling Elementary and making our school a great place to learn and grow together.
Good evening, Dr. Jimerson and Board of Trustees. I am Andre Walker. I'm the proud principal of Kerr Middle School. And if you look at this picture, there's a lot going on. You only see 2 young ladies, but if you pan out where you can see everybody, there's different cultures, different heights, sizes, heights, just a whole eclectic, if I will, group of people that all have the same goal. So I had this picture up in my office today during the leadership meeting, and they walked in. The leader said, "What's this picture?" I said, "Well, I have to talk about it today during the board meeting." And Lisa goes, if you know Lisa Townsend, she doesn't have a filter. "What are you going to say?"
What, Townsend? What?
So Lisa,
And tell her I said that too. Tell her to watch the meeting. Will you?
I said, "Lisa, I got this." So finally he said, "What are you going to say?" So I told him, I said, "Just sit tight. Let me tell you what I'm going to say about us and this picture, because my motto is all in, all win. But I believe at Kerr, we have something for every student, and we encourage them to explore and look for what works for them. It may not be football, it may not be basketball, but there's something we offer. So at Kerr, our goal is to be a place where each and every student will have access to different activities, from sports to the arts, activities that inspire and motivate them to pursue their dreams, and hopefully help them realize that with grit, focus, determination, and hard work, their dreams can become their realities." That's what we do at Kerr. And we thank y'all for allowing us to do that. Thank you.
Dr. Jimerson, board members, thank you for this evening and the opportunity for us to come before you. I've got to tell you, I love this picture almost as much as I love the student in it. You might recognize it from the video that the district produced at the beginning of the school year. When we asked her if she'd like to take part in the video, she was just beside herself, excited. And she showed up that day with her mother and her grandmother. And when they finished videoing her, she went to her grandmother and told her, "We have to go buy special pens." She said, "Why?" And she said, "Because I'm going to be famous now, and I'm going to have to sign a lot of autographs." So she knew she was going to be a star. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you for the foresight that you had in creating the choice schools. I mean, it was already mentioned earlier, but for allowing the arts campus to exist between the piano class, art, music, theater, the audiovisual class where our students did really well in the film festival the other evening. I just want to thank you for allowing our students the chance to be a star and be famous. So thank you very much.
Good evening. Hike is a neighborhood school, and one of the things we're most thankful for is the community that we have, and the community that y'all have helped create. Even just last week, we had some festivities coming back from the cold weather, and the show of support that we received from so many people in this room was absolutely inspirational. So the staff here, Dr. Jimerson, Dr. Shirelli, Mr. Logan, and we were up there until 10:20 Tuesday night, and the community and the support that we get from the staff that y'all have in place, it just means a lot to our teachers and to our parents. And that community as a whole, our parents, our PTO is incredible. We just had our Donuts with Dudes event last week as well, and had just an incredible turnout.
You didn't call me.
You're always welcome. Yeah, we have Muffins with Mans coming up later, so everyone else is welcome. We'll get it out there, yeah. But the community as a whole really rallies around the campus, and that support all comes because of what y'all do to put students first, and we appreciate you for it.
Good evening, Dr. Jimerson and Board of Trustees. I'm here today on behalf of Brock Elementary. I became the principal there in 2013, but was an assistant principal whenever we first opened. And it has been exciting to see what all we have done in those years since we opened. We're still the new school. I don't know when you ever stop saying that, but when I introduce,
Until
I'm like,
there's
we're
another
the new
school.
Yeah, I guess so. But this is just an example. This was one of our glow-in-the-dark examples in art, but we do these kind of things all throughout our campus. While we all know that we have the TEKS to teach, the art of teaching is about creating engaging and relevant classroom instruction and experiences for our kids. Our teachers continue to find ways to make learning fun, and this is just one example, but they also do this in the classroom, of course. So we have glow days that have to do with math and reading and those kind of things, or dress up days that go along with our curriculum, and this is what makes kids want to come to school. And so we know that y'all are a big part of that, because you allow our teachers to still, even when we have all the mandates, you still allow them to have their art of teaching where they bring it home to the kids where it still makes learning fun. So we appreciate all that you do.
Good evening, Dr. Jimerson and the board. I was excited when Caitlin picked this picture for Clinkscale, trying to figure out what do I want to share. I've been there since 2009, so I always go back. My daughter's about to be 15, so Clinkscale's about to be 15 years old. It's crazy how quickly it goes by, but I just want to say thank you for allowing us to hire such awesome teachers and pouring the support into them. We have over 70 members of our ukulele club, 2nd through 5th grade, and then we are also taking 101 choir members by Miss Wyrick to TCU basketball on a Saturday in February coming up to perform the national anthem. I know it's fun. I love doing that. And then we have also started a disc golf club. She also has done this as well. So just offering those choices to our babies, and thank you again for putting that support into them. I didn't even need my notes.
Hi, I'm Dina Shimming, Principal at Centennial. I just want y'all to know that you're so special to me that I had to leave work at 4:30 to go wash my hair. Yeah, I don't usually do that, but that's how special you are to me. I actually spent a lot of time compiling a list of all the accomplishments that we've done this year, which it just kept growing. But when I look at this picture, what really stands out to me is what you don't see. And it's all the safety and security that's going on so that people can have the fun and enjoyment that they have together without the stress that we all carry, the things that keep me awake at night, and how daunting it is to think about the safety of our students. But y'all think about things before they're ever an issue. And I really, truly appreciate that, especially the big, what are those things called, Scott? Bolt. Y'all think of things before they're even an issue, and knowing that we have your support, knowing that we have things in place to keep these kids safe, they can have moments like this, and their parents can have moments like this, and their parents can send them to school to learn, and we can carry the weight and the burden of that safety. And I'm so grateful for you guys and for the thought and the finances that you put in behind that to keep our students and our community members safe in our schools. So thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Jimerson, Board of Trustees. First, want to thank you for creating and supporting the types of schools that people want to bring their kids to, including myself. STEAM is a wonderful school. I'm very honored to be able to be up here and speak about it. STEAM was opened in 2015 when the community partnered with BISD to create a new middle school that would truly transform student learning. 9 years later, you can walk into any classroom and this is the type of learning that you will see. Fully immersed, creating and collaborating with others. You can see students being transported into new places in their history class, They're learning math in their art classes, and theater is bringing literature alive in their English classes. STEAM allows students to interact with their curriculum in a way that reaches everyone by focusing on challenges, discovery, creation, demonstration, and reflection. Our school is a vibrant and dynamic community, and we are proud to be a part of it. Thank you.
Good evening, Dr. J, members of the board. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for allowing the best to go second to last.
Did you do the math real quick in your head?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Now, when I look at this picture from GDDS, it makes me think of two things: how brilliant our students are and how passionate our teachers are. You know, this year we have students going to pursue an education at the #1 engineering school in the United States, Rose-Hulman Technology Institute. We have students going to Texas A&M to major in visualization and with a minor in game design. We have students in the middle of February going to Code Quest competition at Lockheed Martin that could result in paid internships for our students through community partnerships. This morning, I looked at our MAP scores for the middle of the year, and every core content in our high school has met district growth goals. Algebra 1, Geometry, English 1, English 2. And probably the most impressive thing about that is that with our projections next year, GDDS is projected to grow by 20% in the last 2 years. And we have 57% of our staff that are in their first year as educators at GDDS. And so they are not surviving, they are thriving. But it's because of the support and all the things that you do for us and believing in such a unique educational opportunity for our students. It really, truly allows our teacher to fulfill their passions and being the best educator they can. So thank you.
President Eisner, Board of Trustees, Dr. Jimerson, thank you for this tremendous opportunity to get to be the principal. My name is Sam Bonsu at Burleson Collegiate High School. And, you know, I could talk about a lot of things about our campus, but this picture right here illustrates the students taking ownership in our campus. This specific year, we got two new programs because of you, nursing and teaching. You approved that last year. And our students, those are our ambassadors, Abigail and Miss Pelton. They promoted our campus. They created this student video with the help of Garen, and they killed it. You've probably seen the video, but because of them, you know, our numbers in promoting and getting a recruit, we had over 120 recruits, families wanting to be part of our campus. We had over 97 applicants. We actually had to say no to some for the first time, and I know. So it's something that has become what a destination place, and that's because of you. Thank you for your heart. Thank you for caring for our students, and thank you for allowing our students to have their own place that is theirs, you know, because, you know, they get to be themselves. Abigail would never be caught on a video, but this is what she did because she cares about that campus and loves our campus. So thank you for giving our students this opportunity. Happy School Board Trustee Month.
This is awesome. Just had bubble over here. Wonderful.
I want y'all to know how much we appreciate that you all show up every month. And it makes a big difference for us because we do this because of you and because of the children and our community that we love very much. So thank you all for all that you do because it makes what we do fun.
I want to thank you all. That was good stuff. And appreciate your sincerity. And it was levitating. I was levitating too. But I appreciate that. You showed up with thankful hearts. You know, that's what I always say. It's like, you know, what are you thankful for? And it's a great mindset, right? And I got that from all of you. Man, that goes a long way. And I appreciate what you had to say. And it's all true, no doubt, but I love the spirit with which you delivered it. So thank you all.
All right, so do any other board members have comments they would like to make? Yes, ma'am, Ms. Pat.
I just wanted to share with y'all about the film fest the other night. You need to go out and see that. When I was there watching these kids with these videos, the two that really touched my heart, especially the little Brock, the kid. I mean,
that dude was awesome, wasn't he?
He was. I could have put him in my pocket. That kid's going places.
Yes.
You know, awesome.
He dapped me every time he did.
But he will every day at school too.
He
So.
was. Awesome. And then the kids from Branson, the groups over there that did theirs, I mean, they were all really good, but the criteria they had and how they took a flashlight, the woods, and
Low level shot.
yes, a low level, and they were, and all the variety of it, and the parents that were there cheering those kids on. Once again, kudos for our district for providing opportunities like this for these kids to get to do these things that who knows what they're going to do eventually with these opportunities that we're giving them. So it was awesome. Thank you.
You know, they had to sign a pledge that they will only use their forces for good. That's what we used to say about cybersecurity too. You must use your forces for good.
Something that happened to me by happenstance the other day. We were having dinner with some friends, and their kids were over playing with our kids, and I noticed the dad was on his phone, and he was like, you know, he's really doing something. I said, "What are you doing, go?" He said, "Oh, I gotta sign up so and so, one of his daughters, for volleyball camp or the game or something. I don't know what it was. Something to do with her school's volleyball." And I said, "Oh, okay, cool. So we're fixing to eat. You gonna be ready?" He goes, "Oh no. Then I gotta sign up my son for the video game tournament. We're having another tournament." "Oh, okay, cool. So then you're gonna be ready for dinner?" And he's like, No. I'm signing him up for Fortnite, but I'm signing my other one up for this other game." And I was like, yeah, I don't know what it was. But I thought it was just so cool because one, he acted as if it was expected. That he had 3 different kids and 3 different activities and 3 different things all here in BISD. And he wasn't like, yeah, haven't you heard this new thing that's going on? And when I think about that, as that is the reality, and I know all the work that went into, I say, I have an idea of the work. Y'all know the work, but I have an idea. It's just like to be able to see that parent come to expect that degree of excellence from our district is really encouraging. And so it just kind of put a smile on my face that it was all facets right there on his phone. And then he got done. It was like, okay, that's it. We're done. And so anyway, that was super encouraging for me. So thank you guys, because it's taken for granted a lot. But those of us that are doing the work and know the work know how much you guys put in. So I really appreciate you guys.
So we will turn this on and move into our safety, security, and intruder detection audit update with Mr. Logan.
Well, good evening, everyone. Tonight I have an update on our intruder detection audits. But before I do that, I just want to thank all of you for your support and for all you do for our school district and our community. So just thank you all. With that being said, we have had 2 campuses since our last board meeting that were audited. Those were Hughes and Steele Middle School, and both of those passed with no findings. So I know I said this at our board meeting, but again, thank you to those principals and administrators and staff and students for following our protocols and keeping our kids safe every day.
And as I say every time, the fact that There's so many doors and so many kids and so many employees, and all are going and coming all day long, and the fact that there were no findings of doors ajar, open, or anything. Guys, principals, thank you. That's on y'all. You did that. It all rolls down from your chair, and if you made it the priority, you're the one that made it important, it gets done, and I appreciate you all. Our kids are safe because you're doing what you're doing.
That's right. That's all I got. Thank you.
And Scott, you do okay too.
I was just looking there thinking, how many pairs of shoes do you go through?
Because the reality is there's like, dang it, here comes Scott. Make sure your doors are shut. Yeah.
All right, board members, you should have received the consent agenda in your packet. If there aren't any questions about it, I would like a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda as presented. Ryan, and a second, please. Dallas, all in favor? All right, any opposed? I see none opposed, the motion carries. And now we are going to have a public hearing regarding the executive summary of 2022-2023, the Texas Academic Performance Report at 7:11 p.m.
Hello, Dr. Jimerson and the Board of Trustees. Thank you so much again for all you do. I feel like I should say thank you for listening to me speak so often because you're about so many things. So
you're welcome.
Thank you, thank you. So each year, as you know, TEA requires us to hold a public hearing to discuss the district's annual report within 90 calendar days of receiving the Texas Academic Performance Report, the TAPER as we call it. And just so you know, this is really nothing new. I do this every year, and it's just a redo of reports that you've already seen, but we do this every year. So onward. As is required by the public hearing, printed copies of the complete annual report will be available at Central Administration and at campus front offices, as well as electronically on our district website and the TEA website. So that will be available and made there for them. The sections of this report are the Texas Academic Performance Report, the PEIMS Financial Standard Report. As you know, Brenda goes over that every year, already has. District accreditation status, our campus performance objectives. You'll remember that y'all approved those in October, and so those have already been gone over. Our report on violent or criminal incidents on campuses, y'all have that in your packet. Student performance in post-secondary institutions. They want to make sure we tell you how many kids are staying in Texas every year, so we have those numbers for you. As well as House Bill 3, early education. That's really based off of our STAR performance, so we always include that, and that's just part of there as well. And college career military readiness goals, and that too is based off of our accountability. So some of the highlights. So as you remember, because I've been here before quite a few times this year, the state put in place a new test and it put in place a new accountability system, all for the first time in state history and without an implementation year. And if you remember, we thought that might be against state law, and it turns out we were right, and a judge has enjoined TEA from delivering us A through F ratings, as well as distinction designations and the special education determination. So I have nothing to share about that this time around, but I am required to stand up and tell you I have nothing to share it right now. So just so you'll know, we thought it was a problem, turns out it was.
But you all were well informed of the reasons of why there are no
Correct.
ratings, so.
Yes, and we do have, as you know, you've seen just the basic scores. That's all we got. So the next thing is accreditation status. We are accredited again this year. There's no problems with that. Our campus SIPs, as you know, are posted on our website, are available, and we're following through. And you hear some of the campuses talk about the things that are important to them, and I'm so happy the campus principals got a chance to say that. They're really working on those goals and our student growth goals. And Like I said, they want you to know where our kids are going. And just so you know, 44% of BISD graduates choose to stay in the state of Texas to go to college in both public as well as independent higher education. Now, that's not all of our kids. We have other kids who go out of state, but we do not track those. But these are the ones who stay in. And I am happy to report that our grade 3 math and reading, which is in our House Bill 3 goals, and that is our star performance, even from last year, are all exceeding their targets in grade 3. And that's really the year that we look at, because that's that final year for House Bill 3. So those are the highlights of our Texas Academic Performance Report. Do you have any questions?
Questions? Anyone here in the audience? All right. Then, if there aren't any questions, we will close the public hearing at 7:15 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you,
Dr. Shirley. Okay, and now it is time to discuss our monthly financials.
Yes. My gift to you. I will be brief. Okay, so financials, going through November of 23-24 school year, if you'll see compared to last year, our revenue's up by 5.1 million and our expenditures are also up by 2.6. I looked at the percentages and we're right at, for our revenue, we're a little bit higher at this time. We've brought in about 30%. And then for our expenditures, we're right at 33.5% at this time of the year. So we're right on track as we have been in the past. For food service, revenues are down about 70,000. You'll see most of that in federal programs. That was because of the free lunches that we received. And so our federal program revenues are decreased, but you'll see our local revenues have increased on the flip side of that. And then our expenditures are also up 524,000. Part of that is we did get a new dish machine at one of our campuses, and so we're using some of our revenues to support those and to upgrade them. For debt service, revenues are about the same as they were last year. It's just our tax revenues at this time. And then our expenditures are 15.6 million. That is our bond payment that we made August 1st, and that's about 50%, and we'll make the remaining one on February 1st. For special revenue funds, we've expended 49.4%. You'll see we finish up the 23 revenue grants that we received, and then we roll them over to the 23-24 school year. For childcare, revenues are up 81,000 at this time, and expenditures also up at 36,000. Capital projects, which is our oil and gas, revenues are down a little bit from last year. Those are in our royalties, are a little bit decreased, but our interest has increased because of our balance. We started at 13.6 million, and we're at 14.1 through the end of November. And payments over 10,000. The list is in your packet. You'll see the majority out of 199. We also have special revenue funds, our workers' comp claims, and then also some capital projects that we spent. For our tax report, it starts to pick up this time of the year. So our November collections, we're at 4.3 million, 2.6 in M&O, and then in our INS is at 1.7. Through the year, we're at 5.5 million. And then our capital update. So Norwood, we completed. We're going to complete our retainage through November, and then we have our spent expenses at Mount.
Which we've got ready to start rolling out some of that next week, as I recall.
That's correct.
That's right.
So we'll be excited about that. And that's it for the financials.
Thank you. And that brings us to the financial action items. To consider year-to-date budget.
Yes, I do have one, please. It's just a few function changes, reclassifications. There's no addition to the budget. It's just moving a couple of the funds between for staff development and a few of the student competitions. So if you'll approve that, we can move forward.
If not, then I'd like a motion that the Board of Trustees approve the budget amendments as presented. Thank you, Pat. And a second, please. Dallas. All in favor? Any opposed? I see none opposed. The motion passes.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. And now we are going to hear from Mr. Dyer about the update 121 to our policy man.
Before we get to enjoy, the thrilling endorphins that come from reading policy revisions, thought we'd take a moment for fun fact. I just learned recently, if y'all don't know this, that there are some folks that refer to the TAPR report as the TAPAR report.
Well, I feel much better knowing it.
Has a certain sort of elegant charm to it, doesn't it, though? The TAPAR report. Sort of
No,
like
man, that's
Grey
Cajun.
Poupon. Have a little Tapar with our Grey Poupon. Again, fun fact. We covered this last month. Last month seems like a long time ago, but real quickly.
Really? Okay. All right.
CK, the update 121 from TASB, CKE, school safety officers must complete required training. COB, the integrated pest management now includes residential buildings, which we don't have. We raised the meal, or proposed to raise the meal grace period to $15. CRF is an enigma to me. They changed the template, so they thought that needed to be reissued for some reason, even though none of the language changed. CVA and CVB don't need designee because there's one policy that says you can have a designee anywhere in policy as long as it's referenced. And then DEA, I like this one. Semi-monthly is more better than bi-monthly.
Okay. Is more better?
Yeah.
Is that a quote?
No, that's my way of expressing.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was just checking. I was like,
That way it legally binds.
it's mo better, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe that's right, yep. Regular rate of pay during emergencies. FD, ensure appropriate credit is awarded instead of simply transferring it. And then FFI references, TEA finally got around to releasing their anti-bullying standards, so FFI is going to reference that. We have one locally initiated policy by the administration, GKG, and this one is just to codify, if you will, volunteer programs and put some rules in place from you that govern how volunteers act. Pretty basic stuff. Relevant purpose, an actual event or something that volunteers have a reason to be involved. They complete a background check, make sure everything is clear. And we have an anti-discrimination policy that incorporates the same federal protected categories that apply to students and employees, race, gender, age, religion, and so forth, to make sure that volunteers are treated equally. And that's it. Again, we covered all this last month. This is just the time to adopt it.
Was there anything in there about the Tapar?
Not to my knowledge.
Just checking.
Any questions about update 121? Then if not, could I please have a motion that the Board of Trustees approve update 121 and policy GKG as recommended by TASB? Jerry, and can I have a second? Sean, all in favor? All right, any opposed? All right, I see none opposed. The motion passes. And if there isn't anything else that we need to discuss, we are adjourned at 7:22.